The apostasy of Vatican II and its antipopes has permeated all levels of the Vatican II Church. We see this demonstrated in many ways. We see the religious indifferentism all the time, praising of non-Catholic churches and their false religious leaders. We see the constant participation of the priests and bishops of the Vatican II Church in the services of false religions. We also see the complete acceptance of pro-abortion politicians as, quote, Catholics. These wicked people are given, quote, communion with no exceptions. Here we see the notorious supporter of abortion, John Kerry, receiving, quote, communion. Notice the miraculous image of a baby which appears as if Kerry is eating. An official, quote, Catholic funeral was given recently to Ted Kennedy. Cardinal O'Malley of the Vatican II Church, who conducted the funeral for Kennedy, praised Kennedy's work and life and said that we will see him again in heaven. Kennedy's work included being one of the most aggressive supporters of abortion on demand. Kennedy also supported aggressively gay, quote, marriage. He even voted against a bill which would have defined marriage as the union between a man and a woman. He also voted against a bill which would have banned partial birth abortion. Ted Kennedy was given, quote, communion during his life, and of course he was commemorated as a servant of Christ after his death by the Vatican II Church. On August 12, 2002, the United States Conference of so-called Catholic Bishops issued a document on the Jews. The document publicly declared that, quote, campaigns that target Jews for conversion to Christianity are no longer theologically acceptable in the Catholic Church. On October 2, 2009, the United States Conference of so-called Catholic Bishops issued a, quote, statement of principles for Catholic-Jewish dialogue. They declare, quote, Jewish-Catholic dialogue, one of the blessed fruits of the Second Vatican Council, has never been and will never be used by the Catholic Church as a means of proselytism, nor is it intended as a disguised invitation to baptism, end quote. Many non-Catholics who have wanted to convert to the Catholic Church have been told by the Vatican II Church that they should not convert. The Vatican II Church also does not believe in the indissolubility of marriage, for as long as you file a petition for an annulment with the diocese and pay their fee, your marriage will be declared by them almost 100% of the time as never being valid. The Vatican II colleges are a total disgrace, for they allow the promotion of lesbianism, homosexuality, and abortion. These things are all allowed with the full approval of the so-called Catholic leaders in their area. These so-called Catholic colleges also frequently attack the dogmas of the Catholic Church, the inerrancy of the Bible, and the divinity and miracles of Jesus Christ. One small example of the apostasy of the Vatican II colleges is the following from Seton Hall University. The Seton Hall website states, quote, the staff of campus ministry will direct any member of the university community to local congregations that will foster individual spiritual development. The Interfaith Directory is a resource for students of other faiths to locate a church of their denomination in the area. And Seton Hall lists the full contact info for local synagogues, Islamic centers, quote, Orthodox churches, Protestant churches, and Buddhist religious centers. This is apostasy. The Vatican II high schools and elementary schools promote the apostasy of religious indifferentism, and they also promote the abominable and satanic sex education which is forced upon little children starting in kindergarten. This filthy and demonic, quote, sex education encourages the youngest children to commit mortal sins such as masturbation, which will send them to hell forever. And of course the apostate Benedict XVI, who is well aware of these abominations, doesn't say a word. Matthew 18 verse 6, quote, but he that shall scandalize one of these little ones that believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone should be hanged about his neck, and that he should be drowned in the depth of the sea. Every year, Benedict XVI's official newspaper sends a message of greeting and congratulations to the Buddhists for their feast of Vesak, the Muslims for the end of Ramadan, and the Hindus for the feast of Diwali. We also see the Vatican II's monasteries have fully embraced this apostasy. Just one example is so-called Trappist priests, who have been installed by others as official teachers of Zen Buddhism. On May 5, 2004, a Hindu high priest and other Hindus prayed and worshiped one of their many false gods in the chapel of the apparitions of Our Lady of Fatima. After they prayed, they were greeted by the apostate so-called Catholic Bishop of Fatima, who gave full approval to this act of apostasy.